when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of books, and I think some of my favorite books were books about other worlds, like magical worlds, where heroes or heroines would go through this hero's journey of maybe becoming a braver person or a stronger person. And I think when I was a kid, life at home was not very easy. And what kept me going at times was these books that I would read, because even though I felt like I wasn't very strong or brave or outspoken, I felt like I could become that through these characters that I would read about, you know? And every single time they faced their biggest mountain, somehow they came out on top by not giving up. And for me, that's what I think of when I think about a fairy tale. And I know that, like, I don't really think of like Disney princess or anything like that. I love those settings. I love like a very green, enchanted setting. But I don't think about like, oh, it's a princess finding true love. For me personally, when I think about a fairy tale, I think about an individual going on a hero's journey to come out a lot braver and stronger, and having defeated the demons that they didn't think they could defeat, you know? They face challenges where the odds are never ever in their favor, and somehow through creativity and strength and perseverance, they find a way to reach their goals. And I feel like that's what I needed as a kid. Like, I saw a TikTok the other day about like role models, and some kids growing up feeling like they didn't have role models. And I think I felt like that a lot as a kid for many, many reasons. So my heroes were often in books. And my favorite books were those that took place in a completely different setting, because if things at home were really, really difficult, I could forget about a lot of it. I could open up a book, transport into a whole other world, be someone else, and it helped me escape the current situation in the times where I needed it the most. And so I feel like that's just a part of me, you know, that's something that's really meaningful to me. And whenever I think of serendipity, I think of a fairy tale garden. Something very green, something full of life and full of beauty and full of resilience. There's a lot of the trees and plants that you guys see here have made it through some very, very cruel summers. Very, very cruel summers. And the garden is still here. It's definitely evolved, and there's plant residents that have come and gone. But the garden is still here, and the garden is going to continue growing no matter what. As long as I don't give up, the garden is always going to continue evolving alongside. Oh shoot. Oh my God. The way my heart dropped. Oh my God. This is why I can't do like 3 things at once very well. My heart is pounding, and I feel like all of a sudden I'm sweating buckets. Now it's starting to feel like 91 degrees. Like actually 91 degrees. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like a little bit hotter than that. The good thing is that I don't have the sun on me right now. But we'll see how that changes throughout the summertime, because sometimes the sun still gets through somehow. And it becomes, and it makes it a lot harder to be out here. Oh, but you know what? You know what though? I almost forgot. But whenever whenever the tunnel fills out, it does help to block out the sun, because I attach bamboo stakes right here through the center of the pathways, so that the vines would have like a little bridge to cross this gap right here and make it to the other trellis. Otherwise, what used to happen is the vines used to fall literally right here straight down. And imagine throwing out the trash at 10 p.m. and you know there's spiders in the garden, and you've seen huge hornworms and lizards are here and there just crawling on the walls looking at you, and a vine just brushes against your face. You can't tell me you wouldn't run away screaming. And like I always seem like I'm such a scaredy cat in my videos because I'm constantly screaming in the garden. But I remember times where my husband and my sister came out here where I wanted to show them stuff in the garden. And because there were so many spider webs, the way they would shriek with vines that I already knew were there because I'm here often. But just seeing them freak out made me like crack up because I could see what I probably look like to other people. And then it also made me feel validated where I was like, see, I told you guys it's pretty scary being out here, especially at night. Why was I talking about that again? What color pillows should I put here? I don't want it to be like a really, really crazy color. Or maybe if it was a really fun print, something very like soft and airy. Well, not airy. I feel like I like print that has roses on it or softer colors like lighter pinks and peaches and creams. I love a really, really soft palette. Pinky peach. I love a really soft pinky peachy palette or warm peach palette. Oh shoot, I got paint on me again. And the last time it happened, oh shoot. The last time it happened, I could not get it off. Well, yesterday when it happened. Wait, was it yesterday? I think it was. I couldn't get it off until like the nighttime, and that was after scrubbing my hands several times. I had to wear gloves at one point just to cook, which I normally don't because I like, you know, having the most amount of dexterity. But, oh, I'm kind of scared. I don't think I left enough space to walk behind the bench right here. And there should be roses right there. And I don't want to walk into the thorns. I think I'm definitely going to have enough paint to do the bottom of the benches as well. But first I want to make sure that I can at least do a second coat on any areas that I feel like I might have missed. I mean, I guess I could also just buy more paint and come back in a few months and touch it up. Because even if there are any areas that have a little bit less coverage, which I don't think there's many of, if there are any, you can't tell as much because the bench is black. So that's good. If it was two colors that were super contrasting, I feel like it would be a lot more noticeable, but it's really not. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh my God. You guys, that looks so good. That looks beautiful. That rich, warm brown is exactly what this space needed. And keep in mind, eventually I plan to, well, I don't know if I'll be able to do it with these trellises because the grapevines go here and these fill in quite nicely. But I like having different tones of brown because eventually I like adding grapevines to make things look a little bit more whimsical. And I feel like different shades of brown give a very cottage theme to any garden. Different shades of brown and wood tones makes me feel like a garden immediately feels way more inviting and warm and enchanting. That's exactly what I want. I am in love with the brown benches. I feel like now they come alive. I don't know why I didn't bring these benches over sooner. I had them next to Citrus Lane and I never brought them over, mainly because I wanted to keep this area of the garden open, and I'm not sure why. Like, all I do is walk by at times or carry things through, but it just makes so much more sense to make it functional for us to be out here and enjoy. Once I started moving the benches around, one thing that I loved that I've been seeing lately is my husband is like a cat. During his breaks, he comes outside and he just sits in the benches and basks in the sun to get his daily dose of vitamin D. And he just tells me how it feels so warm out here, and it's also just very relaxing just being here in the garden. He hasn't been sitting in these benches yet. He's been sitting in the other one that turns into a little table. But I think he's gonna love it whenever we're able to come out here just to enjoy a meal together. It's gonna be nice during the nights of the summertime, but it's also gonna be super nice during the midday meals and dinners during the winter time. Because imagine having a Christmas dinner in this setting right here with the twinkling lights and like maybe hanging ornaments through here. Oh, that would be so cute. I think that would be amazing. And the good thing about Serendipity is that during the winter time, around Christmas time, there's always a couple of Don Juan roses blooming. And because I planted those for my mom every single Christmas, New Year's, like all of the big holidays, I'm able to look out the window or come out to the garden for just a few seconds or a few minutes, and I can see my mom's roses, and it helps me because sometimes holidays can be a little bit hard without her, and just having those little reminders of her throughout the garden makes me feel so much better. I feel like I'm able to enjoy the holiday a lot more with my family. I'm also glad that I can come out here at night to work on projects that I fall behind on. During the summertime, I try not to have very many huge projects to take care of out here. Last summer, I did do a couple of them just because I was desperate to bring the garden back to life, because I don't think it had gotten that fried in so long where almost every single garden bed was empty. And usually most of Serendipity is alive, and there was still a lot of Serendipity that was green and alive, like the trees, but the whole garden just at one point looked so sad during the summertime. And I think a big reason for that is because I just stopped coming outside. My first year gardening, I came out here even on the hottest of days because I was out here watering. I was out here trying to mend garden beds and plant things because I felt like I was constantly playing catch up, and also feeling like I was always behind. I love watching gardening channels and seeing everything that I should be planting every single month, and especially because I'm a content creator, you know, like I need to make sure that I don't fall too behind. And usually if you film for the season or ahead of the season, you can put out content at the appropriate times of the year. And I can't ever really do that because it takes me so long to create these video entries or to create these diary entries that all of my content is always backed up by some time. And that's why they're diary entries, because you're seeing different memories of this garden just randomly whenever I feel like sharing those memories. And I was always out here planting things because I felt like I was running out of time to plant that one vegetable or that one crop. And now I don't feel that same type of rush. And I think that's just because this year I'm trying to get all the big projects out of the way so that I can focus on enjoying the smaller projects with my family, specifically my children. I don't remember the last time I planted a seed. It was probably some time that I filmed, maybe a few weeks ago. And usually I'm always out here just running outside and popping a few seeds into the ground at a time. And one day I stopped because I realized that my kids are getting older, and I want to make sure that I create as many happy memories with them in this garden as I possibly can, because time just flies by. The last 3 years working in this garden, turning it into what it is now, have been so fun and exciting and frustrating. And I've had the opportunity to enjoy all of that. And it has helped me so much. And I wanted to help them the same way that it helped me, you know. It's a place that I created to help heal my inner child, but it's also a place that I created for my children, for them to enjoy, for them to plant seeds in, for them to grow crops and learn all about them. Like, what better way to teach them to love gardening than by allowing them to garden themselves in Serendipity? That way, whenever they contribute to planting seeds, the excitement that they feel whenever those little sprouts finally pop up, they always remember exactly which ones they planted and where. And I don't really harvest things in the garden anymore because they're always out here with their little harvest baskets picking fresh peas for little, you know, like little mid-morning snacks or pulling out carrots. I pulled out maybe 4 carrots, if that. Every single other carrot that I planted, they came out here and they harvested themselves. They would come out, they would come inside sometimes with a bunch of baby carrots. And that's the thing too, that sometimes they just harvest, they recognize the carrot top, so they go over and they're pulling. And they planted the seeds, you know, so they can harvest whatever they want. But just seeing how much their little faces light up, and how when we went to the Children's Museum earlier this month, my baby knew so many of the plants and their names just by looking at the plant before he even noticed like the fruit, just by the shape of the leaves. You know, they knew what plant it was because they're constantly asking me what the plants are in the garden, and they're also giving me garden tours at times, because whenever they eat fruit like mangoes or apples or things like that, they always like coming out here to plant their own seeds for the trees that they say they're gonna grow. This will be worth it. Future self. This will be worth it. I'm definitely gonna flip these upside down, I think. I'll at least do the other one for now, and then I'll finish this one probably tomorrow, because I need to wait for the top portion to dry before I start painting the bottom portion. That way I don't scratch anything up, because I don't want to have to spend more time out here fixing it. Oh. Okay, I got that one. I need this one. I think I'm done with that one. I'm just going around making sure I don't have any like weird drips or anything, or any small spaces that I missed. And I missed all of these. Hold on. Did I get some on me? Or was that sweat? Are those all done? Yep. Oh, I'm missing all of... Oh no, I did the backs. Did I do all of the back? Ooh. I think so. Oh, a few. Okay, I think there. I think there. This time for sure. Wow, that looks beautiful. Okay, now let's see this guy. Oh my God, I missed some space, some spots in the back here. Do I really want to do all the bottom? I really don't. Wait, hold on. This isn't gonna stay up. Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do. Shoot, but there's not. I did not think this through. I didn't think it through. I think that should be good enough, actually. Oh, I scratched up this whole side right here. Oh. See? That's what I get for trying. to be a perfectionist. No, honestly, if I plan to flip them, I should have done that maybe in the grass area. So that's what I'll do another one of these days. Well, I think that's good enough. Okay, time for me to go inside. I'm done.